Welcome, guys. This is Fantasy Salesman at Fantasy Analyzers. You can catch me at Twitter, Fantasy Analyze, of course, or all of us. Hit us up there. We have Keith to my right. We have John down in the bottom corner, and David right below me, Sack Experts, Dynasty Coach A. Dak Fantasy Guy. I don't know if that's a reference to something, but we're here
That's South
to
Dakota,
answer
man. Got to
questions.
give that South Dakota love, buddy.
We're here to answer some questions. Just kick it this Sunday morning. If you have questions, hit us up. I have that live right in front of me. So if you want to get in here, we currently don't have any. So if you have any questions, post it up. We're ready to go. How you doing, Keith?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just excited to be back on here. I missed you guys last week, so happy to get back into the routine of things and looking forward to a crazy week 4 ahead of us, man.
Oh, for sure, for sure. John, how's your morning going?
Pretty good. Like I told you, I'm a little hungover. Had a little too much fun last night, but that's just
still living it. I love it.
Yeah, that's just the football life, man. You wake up and you rally on Sunday, and
No.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to grill and all that good stuff.
Good, man. David, how's your crazy life treating you?
Things are good, man. Things are good. Ready for football. You setting lineups today or what? You got any dilemmas
Maybe we'll get
on the
some trades
agenda?
in or something like that, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
You may have to go kick it outside because it's gonna get hot in here. Feel me?
I'll kick it.
You're not even awake,
here, there, anywhere.
All right, guys. Yeah,
Sounds good.
Listeners, I appreciate your tuning in. Hit us up with some questions. We're going to kind of go through our own starting lineups and discuss kind of some of the decisions that we're making. Keith, you want to start us out? Is there any kind of lineup decisions or games you're looking at?
Well, I tell you what, man. I mean, I got buzzsawed with the Titans Steelers in one of my leagues because I start Big Ben and Juju as a stack there. So I ended up on that, and this is a league I was telling you guys back a couple weeks ago. That's just a 14-man roster is it. So nothing very deep to go with it. And also had a situation with Kareem Hunt, who's obviously looking to play today, questionable. I decided I'm going to go ahead and sit Hunt. I picked Greg Ward up off the waiver, figuring he's the only healthy receiver for that Eagles group coming off of 11 targets last week, and figure that he's going to provide me a floor there. So I've got Stafford rolling at quarterback this week for Big Ben in that league. And obviously losing Juju hurts me there. I also have Michael Thomas in that league, who has yet to see anything after a poor week 1. So I'm limping. I am limping into week 4 with that league. The other league, I'm sitting 2-1. I basically only really I play multiple leagues, obviously, but I care about 2 of them. I care about 2 of them. So sitting solid in the one league at 2-1, and then this other one I'm 1-2 and limping in today. So that's my story today.
Oh, for sure. How you doing, John? What's your lineups looking
like? I know you had said something about checking our lineups and that kind of thing, but I don't know how long the stream is because I have a lot of teams. But
I have 15 teams, so David probably that's probably closer to 20, but yeah.
That's exactly what I have. I have 15 as well. And the sad part is that I have Derrick Henry on probably most of them. I mean, definitely most of them. Like probably, like I probably don't have them on like maybe 1 or 2 leagues. So obviously that one hurt. In one of my leagues, I have Raheem Mostert, Leonard Fournette, Derrick Henry. Obviously they're all out. Then I have some of my receivers, and I have Jonnu Smith as my tight end. I had Corey Davis like filling in as a flex spot, so that didn't help. It's a rough week, but I mean, I still luckily my team is pretty good on that one, so I'm still fielding a pretty good lineup. But then I have Joe Mixon, and they were they're talking about the chest injury. Is he going to play? It seems like he's going to play. It seems like it's more of a pain thing than anything else. So I'm not overly concerned about it. But when you're already picking from scraps and stuff, you don't want to hear injuries to other guys.
If I remember right, I think it was James Conner over this last year, as well as Chris Carson, dealt with chest pain. It's like it's normal for running back specifically because they're just getting hit over and over. And especially they didn't have an off season. They didn't take hits until freaking the season opened up. So that's kind of normal, I would say, for kind of the situation that we're in. David, how you doing, man? How's those lineups? Are you okay? Are you all right, bro?
Man, I'm trying to set all these lineups and make sure they're all
I know
good.
you gotta try real hard. I know, bro. You're busy. Look at you.
I was supposed to set a defense for the Thursday game, and I literally forgot to add in Jets D, which they had like 3 picks, and which was good. They got like 8 points in that league, but
they got 8 points after giving up 30-some points. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll take it in that league. Like the defense, like it's very thin, like 12-teamer, like so everyone has multiple defenses, everyone has multiple IR spots. So like everyone's just like hoarding players in that league. So I'm stuck with New England versus KC, and I'm just not happy about that. So
yeah, you gotta feel it, right?
I'm trying to like pivot real quick. And I'm looking through the waiver line, waivers, and I'm just like, I don't like that. Don't like that. So I might just stick with New England because I want to use them down the line.
Sure.
But if I drop them, somebody's obviously going to take them. So
you gotta
that
take
league,
hit.
I'm
you gotta
just
take
like,
the body below right now, so that down the line, you're set up for the playoffs. So I mean, you should be like putting someone in there, like you're prepared. Maybe you're not. That's fine, but. You know what I mean?
Super like, and then this other league, I'm losing.
I didn't get much sleep.
I'm losing Big Ben and Derrick Henry in this other league, so I'm like, goodness gracious. Luckily, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And and I'm pivoting to Mark Ingram.
Him, right?
You know what I mean? So, but again, like this league, the bench is like very like short, so. We only have 4 bench spots. So when I lose Derrick Henry, I did plug in Mark Ingram and Antonio Gibson, but at the same time, like I want to pick up some other players, but I'm like, shit, I have Cam Akers on the bench, and I don't want to like necessarily drop him because he may come into play later in the season.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't know. In this other league I'm looking at right now, my dynasty league, luckily I have Myles Gaskins to plug and play. Luckily, George Kittle's back. Will Fuller's playing today. I'm not sure how Jeff Wilson's
run, pass, and options. Yeah. So, I mean, we feel you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you doing today, Matt? How's the Spicy M doing today?
Dude, I had my fiance's mom, which I call her mom at this point. We're getting married in 2 weeks. She made some chicken last night, and it was like that spicy. She's Taiwanese, so she makes it like kind of a stir fry, sort of, with some spices because she knows I like it spicy. I'm from East LA. Like I went next door to get myself some spicy, or I made myself some spicy. But that's beside the point. Last night, I was kicking it with my best man, Kevin, and him and I get pretty deep, politically, sociologically, whateverly. And, I had a little bit of whiskey, some Gentleman Jack, as well as some spicy chicken.
I don't know if that's a good combination, brother.
No, I mean, I was in the garage.
It's good at the time, but I don't know if it's good today,
Yeah. So I'm not exactly hungover. I've been hungover in probably 11 years. Something in my genes. It's like I could just take it, and I may be 140.
Must be nice.
Soaking wet. But like I just kick it, and we talked about some good stuff. I'm excited to chill with him, a couple weeks. But that's kind of I'm doing all right. I'm feeling it. I got my Gatorade. We're good.
There you go. There you go.
Well, what you need to do is set your lineup in the sleeper league because you're 1 and 2, brother. I need you to make playoffs.
I don't need to set the lineup. That's 14th on the totem pole. I don't freaking care about that league. Come on, now.
All leagues matter, bro.
It's $5.
All leagues matter,
dude. I bought this Gatorade for that, basically. Like, I may set it, I may not. I don't. We'll see if I get to it.
Competitive balance.
There's one, yeah. You have to have balance. You know what I mean? Like I have about 3, 4 that are my solid leagues that I need to focus on. And
Yep.
what I mean by focus isn't, I need to study every freaking player. I already know, and you guys do too. You guys are on here. You're confident in what you do. The key to fantasy football is let it be fun. The moment you overstudy, you overanalyze, you overthink every freaking move is the moment you're losing. And that's art of war for you. If you want to get into that, look it up. But you need to be confident in what you're doing. So I'll just give you an example. This week, I got an offer from a buddy of mine who drafted 5 QBs in the draft. This is PPR. And by the 8th, 9th round, he had 5 QBs. His name's John. I call him out
In a single QB league?
1 QB league.
Oh man.
PPR, it's keeper,
Whoa.
but it's more of a redraft. Keepers barely come into play. But he offered me Lamar Jackson for Adam Thielen. You know, this is regular 4-point TDs, all that. So I was like, that's intriguing. I gave him a call, talked to him about 90 seconds. I said, I'm not going to do Lamar. I don't like Lamar. I had him as a fade this season. But he has Dak on his bench. And I'm like, I'll give you Thielen for Dak. I'm cool. I have freaking Metcalf, Ridley, Slayton. You know, I have Tanyan, who I could put in the wide receiver as well, that I just picked up, Higgins. So I'm set at wide receiver. Losing Thielen to get Dak and to shore up my Matthew Stafford mix with someone like Dak Prescott who can be the number 1, period. It made my week, and that's why you're talking to man. Yeah, life's crazy, but there's some peace in the fantasy football world. If you know.
There you go. There you go.
You got Dak. You got Dak.
Mm-hmm.
So Dak.
Oh,
yeah.
there it is. There it
I
is.
had to bring it up because he's so Dak, fantasy guy right here.
Well, that defense is so bad. I mean, they're going to have to throw, all the time. And so, yeah, I don't mind that trade at all. I mean, I don't go crazy for quarterbacks in 1 quarterback leagues, but I'm also not in very many 1 quarterback leagues. So, like, generally, I am going crazy for the quarterbacks.
You kind of get to that point where it's a weird thing to have 1 QB.
Coming into this year, one thing that I was hoping to get a chance to do, and it never did work out, but I thought it'd be nice to end up picking on the turn. Like, my 1 primary league that I won last year, it's a keeper league. So we had Lamar was kept and Mahomes was already kept.
Yeah.
It's a 2-year keeper deal, and these guys were drafted as rookies way deep, and we do a 2-round bump off of the original draft spot. So I drafted Lamar 2 years ago at like 13. So he cost me an 11 last year to keep, and he cost the guy that I traded him to a 9 to keep this year. So those guys are off the table. But I was, not as crazy as your friend going 5 quarterbacks deep. But I was thinking coming into the year, I was like, it'd be pretty cool if a guy could get both Lamar and Mahomes at like the 3-4 turn this year. If you were picking there, and then just see what you can.
Depends on where you are at running back at that point. If you RB, then cool.
Is it Superflex?
No, not like none of the leagues that I work in are super flex, but my thought of it was, I was thinking if that's where you're at on the turn, it'd be something interesting to just try for a year and see what you could flip them for, because I guess for me, when I go into a draft,
some mad crazy QB guys in keeper leagues.
Exactly.
Like, why?
Exactly. And then when I look at it, I go into a draft, I don't get myself really caught up on guys. I just really kind of stick to what the board brings me and what the draft brings me, and so coming into it where both those guys were rated like, 36, 37 overall right there. So it's kind of at that turn position anyways. I was like, if that's the value that the draft gave you, it'd be kind of interesting to see, work through the rest of your draft, see where your holes are, and then end up flipping one of them, Didn't work out, but I thought that'd be an interesting approach if it could.
Yeah, I don't typically ever tell someone draft to trade. You need to draft to build your roster, and then trades will happen.
Yep.
You have to let that naturally happen because this guy's stuck. John, he has a solid team. He may be able to make moves, but now he's giving himself extra work. He may just like to deal and stuff like that, which is cool. That's how he finds it fun.
Unless you know the group, really, unless you know the group, because
No,
a lot
him
of the
and I
times,
do,
like if you
but
know
no
the
one
group,
else- yeah.
the guys,
Go ahead.
if you know the guys and you know, like, hey, like, okay, this guy is for sure gonna come after this player. He loves Exhibit A. He loves
Yep.
this player, Patrick Mahomes. He'll trade his whole farm for it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
often,
No,
I was like,
for
sometimes,
sure.
like, I have friends in the home league that, you know, they've been playing with you for so long.
Yeah.
They know that, and they play with you in multiple leagues. They're like, okay, he's going to do anything for Julio Jones. He's going to
Yeah.
do anything for this player.
For
So,
sure.
no,
I was one of the
obviously,
guys
you know,
for taking Dak in the 6th or something like that, 5th or 6th. You know, and it worked out how it worked out.
I was trashing
Yeah,
you
the
for taking Leonard Fournette in the 2nd.
I still got him there, bro. I got him on my bench. Guess what? I got CEH. I got Aaron Jones. I got Daryl Henderson. You know, I'm sitting pretty. I got Madison,
Yeah, you are.
Fournette. I'm good on my bench. Like, and my freaking name on the team is Fournette or bust. Like, he's on my bench. But that.
But where'd you
that
get?
kid
But
could-
where'd you
could
get
ball.
CEH though? Where'd you get CEH?
Number 1 pick.
What round?
Number 1
Yeah.
pick.
And then you got Leonard Fournette too, though.
And that's pretty good that you still
That's
got
where
Aaron
you went
Jones
wrong.
in the 3rd.
That was
I'm
the
guessing?
keeper. My key. That was the ace in the hole. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I kept him in the 3rd. So I could have wrapped around and got him again, but I just wanted to secure that spot for Aaron Jones.
Well, it worked out because otherwise you wouldn't be sitting pretty, you know.
Right.
And you got what?
No, for sure.
Emmanuel Sanders and a couple other wide receivers I mean, it was a good year to go running back. And then because you still were able to get pass catchers, you know, in the 6th, 7th round that were startable.
Before I got anything else, honestly. And that's how I roll right now. That's how you win the game. You know, who knows next season, and you know, it may change. But that's just my strat right now. So
For sure. No,
what do you think, Dave? Okay, go ahead, Keith.
I was just gonna tell you guys. So I pulled a trade here this week, coming off of a week 1 close loss for me. I had a guy in my league offer me Nick Chubb for Stephon Diggs, and I tried renegotiating that to I offered him Diggs and David Johnson for his Joe Mixon and Chubb. He didn't like that one, so we went back to the original deal. So I pulled Chubb out of this deal.
Okay.
You know, and he's been solid for me for weeks 2 and 3. You know, won the last 2 weeks, but pulled off a pretty big trade earlier in the week. I packaged Deshaun Watson, Chubb, and Antonio Gibson for Devontae Parker, Miles Sanders, and Big Ben. So what do you guys think of that one?
Miles Sanders?
Yeah. So my group, I
that's a
took
win.
out of it. The three I got was Miles Sanders, Big Ben, and Devontae Parker. And I gave up Chubb, Antonio Gibson, and Deshaun.
Ooh,
Yeah, I don't
that's a
mind that,
good
especially
deal,
if
bro.
you needed a wide
steal.
receiver.
Exactly, and you're exactly right, John. I was looking at it, you know, and was like, hey, I can get Devontae in here, give me a little bit better wide receiver depth. He's starting in my flex this week in a great matchup, you know, and Gibson was going to be parked on my bench most weeks, so you know, because I have Aaron Jones.
Is it PPR?
It's PPR, full point PPR, and my two running backs are Miles Sanders and Aaron Jones are my 2 starters there.
Yeah, that should work out pretty nice for you.
Miles Sanders might have a better back end of the season than Nick Chubb, honestly, like in PPR.
Yeah,
it's completely possible considering how Kareem Hunt is playing. You know, I think that you know, they're going to have to split, you know, every other week or whatever. You know, like, so I actually think that deal is probably one of the better ones I've heard this week for sure. That's a steal. I don't know how you pried Miles Sanders away.
I just throw them out there, baby. Just throw them out there, you know. And it's funny because this is in this league. I I started the season without a first-round pick because I traded my first-round pick last year in a package deal to get Christian McCaffrey. I went on to win the league, so it was worth it. But I was down a first-round pick, and now my roster sitting here with Aaron Jones and Miles Sanders both.
Yeah, get rid of your first round for that guy.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, it was worth it.
He's LaDainian Tomlinson right now. Like, he's Sean Alexander back in the early 2000s. Like,
yep.
You got to lock him down. Barkley, Kamara, whoever, CH, they're going to battle for that number 2 spot. But you need Sean Alexander. You need LT. You name it. Kamara back, a few seasons ago. So I like the move, and he's shoring it up like that. All right, so we have a kind of a supporter question. It's here we go. Tanner, he came in last week. He's saying this is a high stakes league, and he's in desperate need of hope. So Tanner, here it is: PPR, flex, Gallup, MVS, or Montgomery. What are you thinking this week, David?
Montgomery for sure.
Montgomery? Are you? Oh, okay. I see how you're playing it. He's like, bro,
Oh yeah,
easy, man. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, Montgomery seems to be like the safest option.
What are
there,
your
honestly,
thoughts?
But
what are your thoughts?
yeah, I mean, Montgomery seems the safest, but like obviously we know Gallup's going to have a role. They're going to be throwing. That Browns defense is not very good and not very healthy right now. So I would not be starting MVS. That like he would be like the distant third for me. I could see really either way, but like Montgomery, especially with Cohen being out now, like he's gonna have probably the safest floor for you. So I mean, if you need like a week winning week or a game from somebody, then maybe I'd go Gallup. But if you just need like 10 points, 12 points, or whatever, just to like keep your team going, then I'd probably start Montgomery.
For sure. What are your thoughts, Keith?
I agree 100% with what he just said. That's exactly where my thoughts would go on it. It's tough in the MVS situation, and here's why I'm saying it's tough. But then with that Monday night game, Adams has practice here most of the week, so he looks like he's going to be a go. And if we knew in advance that he wasn't a go, maybe I'd consider MVS because, I mean, if they were down both Adams and Allen Lazard, maybe you've got a reason to go there.
Yeah.
But given what it is, exactly like he was just saying, if you need a floor, you go Montgomery. If you need some upside, then you've got a reason to go Gallup. But that would be the order I would do it to: Montgomery, Gallup, MVS. And it just depends on what you need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is. I mean, I'll just close it out. It's Montgomery. You got to go with Montgomery here. Like, don't overthink it. Yeah, Gallup, MVS have some upside this week and that ceiling, but high stakes. I'm sorry, but the upside is too risky at this point in the season. Towards the end of the season, depending on where you are in standings and kind of playoffs looming, go ahead and shoot your shot. Right now, go with Montgomery. He has the carries, he can get the touches. He's going to get you some points. Next question. This is our very own Cali King, 49er17. He writes some articles for us and some solid ones if you want to check that out on fantasyanalyzers.com. Here's the question. Dallas wide receiver, tight end this week. Which one of this receiving core do you want to start?
I mean, does he have all the options?
It sounds like it. I mean, he's just going to kick it there. So what do you think this week?
I mean,
DFS?
if it's any of the options, I'm playing Amari Cooper all day long, but I mean, if he's talking about like, what's up?
Not Blake Jarwin?
Well, Jarwin's out. Dalton Schultz is there, but
trying to catch you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were messing with me or what, but yeah, trick question. If you're talking about CD Lamb, if you're talking about CD Lamb compared to Dalton Schultz, what's up?
For sure, go ahead.
Oh, if you're talking about CD versus Dalton Schultz, then I think I'd probably go with Schultz there, honestly. But I don't want the third option there, like that kind of thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Cool. What are your thoughts, David?
Man, no, I definitely I'll have to agree that Amari Cooper, Schultz would be the combination. I would actually have CeeDee Lamb over Gallup this week too. And back to the last question, my reasoning would be that I think Zeke's going to actually have a bigger role this week, and Gallup's opportunities will be a little bit less. Cleveland tends to run the ball a lot more. So with Chubb, Hunt, I don't think that the passes will be as wide ranging because I think they're going to establish Zeke. Zeke had a pretty bad game last week, to say the least, and I don't see him having back-to-back bad games. So I think Mari would be the next best thing for the Cowboys, and Schultz is going to get those intermediate passes as well as CeeDee Lamb. So Gallup has kind of had a mediocre week over the last the first 2 weeks, to say the least. And I think that last week he had a kind of a more of a breakout. But I think that in terms of moving forward, David Montgomery would be the option for that last question. But for sure in this one, I'm going Mari and Schultz. Schultz is kind of one of those players that came out of left field. And I think that he's got the talent to do some things in the red zone. He's a big target, and he seems like he's got a nice rapport with Dak.
For sure.
So Amari Cooper is that staple that go-to that, move the chains. And CeeDee Lamb looks like he's coming on a lot faster than normal. But yeah, I'd go Amari Cooper than CeeDee than Gallup this week.
I'm just alluding to Odell. Season 1, he showed the flashes of what he can do. And it didn't really, it was like a little wait and see, and that's how it is with rookies and even second-year wide receivers. It takes a minute for them to adjust. But CeeDee Lamb, I love the landing spot. I'm sure most of you guys, if not all of you, love the landing spot with Dallas and Dak. It's solid. And Judy, it was like Judy or Lamb, and they ended up getting Lamb. So, the man in Dallas, that's who he wanted. But Tanner actually, popped in. And he gave us this little gem. He appreciates the help. Tanner, I think, has asked us one question every week, so he's been a legit supporter of ours. So I appreciate you popping in and letting us know, that you appreciate what we're doing. Honestly, we're just kicking it. We're chilling, talking about football, trying to hydrate so that we can have a chill Sunday with family and football. So I appreciate you, Tanner. Keep it coming. So I want to actually we're going to be here probably another 10, 15 minutes. We're going to kind of keep it short this week, but what have you learned so far? And you could either go to your draft results or kind of injuries and COVID madness. What have you learned so far in this season that is key to winning the league in your leagues? It could be anything, whether it's injuries, COVID, issues, coaching, you name it. Just give me kind of a little a little nugget of gold as far as your wisdom so far. Anybody, take it.
So I'll jump in real quick for you guys. When I look at it and kind of coming into a season, biggest piece of advice I'd give anybody when it comes to this is don't get too attached to your draft. Okay, don't get too attached to your draft. Be realistic with what you're seeing out there. Be fluid with what you need to do, and stay active. In every league I've played, it seems like we always have a group of guys. What's up?
Be active, but don't be hyper.
Yeah.
Like people think, I gotta be active. I gotta send 6 trade proposals out there this week because that's active. That's not. It's panic. It's worry.
Have a purpose. Stress. Have a purpose with what you're doing.
Be deliberate with what you're doing. I definitely appreciate that. Keep on going, Keith.
Yeah. So, have a purpose with what you're doing. Look at the overall landscape of your league. Don't just throw like you're just saying with trades, don't throw trades to simply do it. Know exactly what you're looking at. When you're looking at rosters, don't make it where you're targeting a specific guy. Look at the landscape of your league. If you've got depth at a position and you can look around the league and another guy's got depth at a position that you need, that's your trade. It's not a specific player target. It's look at the landscape of your league. And obviously, as we know this year, it changes in a hurry. It changes in a hurry. So be on top of what you're seeing, what's coming out, and be ready to make a move, when it's available to you. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's my big take. That's my big take.
So going off of that, I believe personally that fantasy football is the greatest equalizer we have as men right now. This world is nuts. You know what I mean? Like we come in, I'm in sales, David's in government, Keith, you're at school, John, I don't know exactly what you do. What do you do?
I just do fantasy football. No, I'm just
cool. So
he's really living
you do fantasy football and you have a family and you like grilling. I love it.
Yep, Florida, that's it. Cool. Those are my 3 things.
Cool. That's my dream as well. But this is the greatest equalizer. I can be a CEO of a company. Anybody can be, or they can be like we have a buddy. He's literally a janitor for his city, and it don't matter when you come to the trade tables if it's a $50 league, it's a $5 league, it's free, or it's $100. I have upwards of other money, but it's the greatest equalizer right now as far as our relationships with one another. I don't care what you do. I don't even care if you don't have a job. Fantasy football is a business for me, in the sense that I enjoy it. I love doing it because it's taught me a lot about business in general. I learned about 16 years ago. I started playing when I was 14. And my uncle got me into it, and he was working at a grocery store at that point. Now he's a partner in Pepperidge Farm, owns his own company essentially with Pepperidge Farm. So he's, his name is Jeff, and he kind of got me into it. He paid for me, that's neither here nor there. I didn't have no monies at that point. So guys, have fun with it and use it as a way to learn about yourself and about the people that you're playing with. My league that I discussed a little earlier was guys that we've been playing, I think 8 seasons now. Like we started as it's probably going to last long. We don't know. And guys have interchanged and left and came in, but there's a core of like 4 or 5 of us that have been there. It's a 10-man league. It's kind of a smaller league through church, but yeah, kick it, watch football. If you have the time, I'm pretty busy on Sundays. I have the Game Pass or whatever. So I watch the games throughout the week and study film, and that's just my business. I love doing it. So just like John is like, yeah, I'm in sales, but I like fantasy football, and that's why I started this. This is what I love.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you guys are you guys big on like watching your points, staring at your phone, staring at the computer, like that kind of thing? Because my big thing a few years ago, like probably the best decision I ever made as far as fantasy football goes is I just stopped looking at my matchups. I stopped looking at my line, or not my lineups, but like the other people's lineups, and I don't look at points. I set up 4 TVs. I have Red Zone on the big TV. I have the Fox channel on one TV, the CBS channel on another TV, and then I usually have like the NASCAR race if NASCAR is going on the 4th TV. And then, but like I watch football and I enjoy it. Watching some people swear like they have to watch every point, and they're like, "Oh, I just got 0.3 points," and I'm just like, I've never understood it.
3-yard carry.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like then you start getting pissed because like, oh well, this guy scored, and especially when you're in 15 leagues,
there's too much up and down, even flow. The roller coaster of a Sunday is nuts. You can't. There's no way I could do it like that, man.
You don't enjoy it. You're not enjoying it. That's the problem.
Yeah, as a kid, you don't have any stress. 16, 17 playing this game, it's your stress. You love it. It's just like, come on, Miles Sanders, get an 8-yard carry. Oh, but that's not how it is. It should be for us. We grow up.
Like I know who's in my lineups. Like I know if my team's doing okay or not. Like I can tell if I'm having a decent day, but I don't need to sit there and stare at the screen because half the time, like you could stare at it and then it's going to come down to Monday anyway. It's
right.
Yeah, for sure. David, what is your? Give us a nugget of wisdom. I see you got that gold chain. Can you drop some for us?
I think that just man. I think just like right now, I got a message from one of the best commissioners that I work with. Really cool guy. His name's Aaron.
Is it
and he
Breeze?
kind of took the initiative to. No, actually, that's a different guy.
Cool.
But his name's Aaron, and he
Oh,
basically he was saying that based on the KC Pats game, if anybody's out, send me a direct message for a
yeah.
pivot player, and he's
Yeah.
gonna basically adjust scores and whatnot. So I think going along those lines, just having somebody who is like a in fantasy when it comes to like being able to pivot, being able to be fluid, being able to go with the
Flow.
flow of this COVID-19 and make sure that everyone's having a good experience. Being able to just make sure that everyone's not kind of like what you guys said, stressed about, hey, well, I have these KC Pats players and what happens if they don't play? He made it clear, early yesterday that basically, hey, if somebody doesn't play, you'll have a backup player and you'll still get those points. So having a clear understanding and being able to really just go with the flow. There's going to be points where you're going to need a couple
Hustle
extra
and flow.
IR spots this year. Yeah, so sounds good. Yeah, so I would just being flexible, being able to pivot. How about you, Matt? What would you say yours is?
I haven't learned anything this season. No, but everything is to the core. You build a foundation as a player, and as a man in this business, in a sense. You kind of details are details, and I think kids get wrapped up in, or even men, like we love details sometimes, and what was this guy dealing with? Oh, it's ACL. Oh, dang, it's hamstring. Oh, it's chest injury. Oh, I got a concussion. We get wrapped up in all that crap. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I wish the players' health and that healing, and that's beside the point as far as fantasy. But stick to your core. Like, I'm winning in most of my leagues because COVID is a thing. It's a part of the game, just like the flu. And shout out to Michael Jordan, the greatest. Like, it's part of the game, and if you're sticking to your core, and like I have some strategies that I like to use and philosophies, and David knows a little bit more than you guys. Stick to your gut, stick to your mind. You already know, and injuries happen. You got to adjust and be willing to take the body blows to put you in the position in the postseason. Right now, you lose a game, big deal. You lose 2, 3, 4 games, big deal. Set yourself up because you can go on a run easy because guys are panicked. They're running around making these crazy moves. They don't realize the implications of what they're doing. So just stick to it. We're not here because we know more than you. We're here because we like to talk. We like to talk football, and if you need perspective, you need another angle on it, we're here. That's, it's kind of every season it's reinforced what I kind of take out of the game and business in general. So
people give up on their plan and their players like way too quickly. It's every year, you see it, and it's like they're like, oh, Joe Mixon's the best, and then he has a couple of crappy games, and they're like, he's garbage, and they sell him for nothing. Yeah, and it's just like,
we're not saying,
give it time, but
we've said this, and everyone else has said this too. Like, this is not news.
Yeah. Right.
Forget.
I think it is important to look like deeper than just why, oh yeah, Joe Mixon didn't actually score that many points this week, or that is he getting the touches? Is he on the field? Yeah. Is there a reason? Can you say like this is why he's not doing it? And so I always try to look deeper into it. Like with CeeDee Lamb last week. That's what I was saying. Like I wouldn't really be starting him this week because he was only on the field 59% of the time, 59% of snaps. He only had a 10% target share. And I mean, that doesn't, it's 1 week. That doesn't mean like it's not the, end all be all or anything. But I just think, you have to look at that kind of stuff. And if that continues, then, that's when it can start becoming a problem. But,
you guys take it.
But yeah, just don't give up on your players. That's like at least not after 3 weeks.
Or if you're in the league and you see a guy's gonna give up on somebody, if they put it out on the message board, hey, this guy's up, then be ready to make a move. That's all about kind of being aware of your situation. I love the Mixon take there because I mean he's like almost in an identical spot this year as he was last year. I think
Exactly.
from a points ranking perspective, after 3 weeks, I think he's only like one spot different this year than he was last year. And then he goes on a tear the rest of the season and finishes up, like from week 4 on. I think what was he, the number 7 scoring running back overall for the remainder of the season, and ends up being a top 12 or 15 back overall. I mean, so yeah, great take there, John, with just kind of realizing the game flow, and I like your take on CD coming off the last week. That was a question that kind of came up a lot throughout the week. Everybody was saying, "Hey, is there an injury that we just haven't been told about, or something like that?"
Right.
Not sure, but we didn't ever get any clarification. So
Nope.
So like you're saying, I think you pivot off CD this week if you can, and if he bounces back, great. Then it was no harm, no foul from week 3. And if we see a 2-week trend of low snap rate, low target share, then yeah, you're probably starting to see a trend that could be something that's the real deal. So I like that take.
No, for sure. David, what are your thoughts? You got any thoughts, man? You've been chilling. How's the ankle? How's that ankle, man? You okay?
Man, no, my ankle's fractured, so it's just beasting it out. You know what I mean?
You
I
broke
think
that thing?
I mentioned it.
You're a big boy.
I think
but
I
you broke
mentioned
that
it.
thing?
I think I mentioned it on our podcast when
No,
I
you
said
said
that
it was
I
hurt
was.
and we were icing it. You never said it was fractured. You said you sprained it, you
Yeah, I
twisted it.
fractured. Yeah,
Dang.
I fractured my foot, man, and so it's been in quite a bit of pain. But just getting through the
Better
normal
than a rolled
activities of
ankle
going in the
sprain, though, as far as
shower
pain.
still hurts.
Yeah. Dang, bro.
Yeah,
So
but I'll say this.
go ahead.
I think your guys' takes on CD are interesting because he had a good week 1 and 2. Gallup had a kind of iffy week 1 and 2. Week 3, Gallup was contributing pretty good, and I think they're rolling. Mike McCarthy's rolling with a hot hand in terms of if you're playing well, you got to get him on the field. So we'll see what happens. Week 4. I think that CD is giving. He's got the draft capital and he's got the longevity. So I think it's in the and it's the new regime at the end of the day. So they are invested into Amari Cooper and they're invested into CD Lamb. I actually see CD kind of rising a little bit more and having another solid week over Gallup personally. But Gallup's a great player. I don't see
Yeah,
why they can't run the 3 wide receiver sets
for
and
sure.
keep doing good stuff over there. So, but just it's always good to have dissenting opinions, and it's always really good to see that Gallup and CD and Amari aren't that different in terms of like talent, but just opportunity, market share. So.
Oh, yeah.
Some you can say, just like gambling, you roll the dice out there. Any one of them can have a TD and 8 catches, 150 yards. So
Yeah.
I think that's the luxury of the
It's
Dallas
rough
Cowboys this
to.
year. I think
It's
that's
valid,
gonna.
man. No, for sure. So we're gonna close it out. I gotta get ready. I'm
So
going to church.
one of the best offenses, you can't really go wrong.
Oh, for sure. I got Dak, so I'm happy. Blam, slam, bam, Dak. Damn. Like, give them all to me. But just having some fun with you guys. I appreciate your time, John, jumping in with
Yeah,
us
of
for the
course.
first time. You're always welcome. Whenever there's a spot, we'd love to have you. Size 13 wasn't able to get on. NFL Owen, he's a busy man. I don't know what he's up to. But Keith, as always, the
You
fantasy
bet.
analyzer himself, and sack experts out of Sacramento, breaking his ankle and still being legit and faithful to be diligent to get this off the ground and just kick in, talk some football. So I appreciate you three. Our questions from Tanner as well as Mason, one of our writers on fantasyanalyzers.com. So, I just want to leave you guys with this. Make the week count. do some things for your lady or for your kids or for your family that you wouldn't typically do. Take some coffee to your mom or something. Okay. Feel like it's important nowadays.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Sounds
I mean,
good,
Light some
fellas.
candles for your
Sounds
wife one night.
good.
It's the easiest thing in the freaking world. You have a lighter, right? You
Yep.
know what I mean? Or your boy, have your boy over for a beer. 30 minutes. We don't have much time, but I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys being on with us.
Hey, you bet, man. So
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoyed it.
Now, when we get off, stay on so we can discuss a little bit, as we get off. Peace.
Sure.